Tell us about the foundation of Foreman Empire Productions and share a little bit about the people that are involved.
How it came about was I was actually posting things on Instagram about my acting career, and something kept telling me, Marvin, you need to do your own film. You need to do your own film. And I was like, no, I don't have the resources. I don't have the talent. I don't have the money. I don't have anything. How can I do that? And this was January of 2015. And I kept using this hashtag on all my pictures, Foreman Empire, Foreman Empire, Foreman Empire. And I said, what if that could be a name for my movie production? This girl named Emily out of Columbus, Georgia, I found her, and she was 100% for it. She's never done special effects makeup before. She's all about glamour and hair. And for the first Visitant film, she did it. And she kept saying, well, Marvin, hey, I don't really know, but I'm going to try it on you. And I said, well, try, and if it's wrong, I'll say, start over. That simple. She thought it was going to be that simple, but it really wasn't. She had to start over about maybe 5 or 6 times. And by the 6th time, she was so frustrated. She was so tired. She was so irritated and agitated and angry. And I looked at her and I said, do you want to do this? And she said, yes, I want to do this. And I said, well, do it. So she did it. And she said, well, Marvin, if this is not what you want after this, I don't think I'm going to. And before she finished her sentence, and I looked in the mirror and I looked at her, I said, this is right. Thank you. And I walked off, and she looked like she wanted to cry. She was like in so much relief. And I pushed my actors and my production team members to their breaking point to see how well they work under pressure. Because if you can't work under pressure with me, and you can't have a straight, you can't be focused, and everything I say you take it to heart, and you start crying, this and that, third, how are you going to make it out in Hollywood?
Help us understand a little bit more about the process for making a film. How does the production and everything work?
Well, to be honest, you start off with pre-production, and keep in mind, I had no idea how to make a film. When I first started in January, I'm still learning, I taught myself. I looked online, I looked at different forums online, and looked at what these directors and producers and actors and all of those professional people, what they were saying about how a movie process goes. And I took that advice and I molded it into my own. So, I didn't go to school for it. I didn't pay anyone to teach me. I taught myself. And people have to realize you can do anything you want to do.
Right.
You can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it. You have the right timing for it. You make enough time for it.
Right.
And you study.
Right.
You don't have to have other people tell you what to do. Exactly. It's right in front of you.
Right. The resources are right there. Internet.
Thank you. And
right
it's all online. And I was baffled. I was like, holy crap. A lot of people are going to school for this, and it's right here at my fingertips.
Right.
And I let a few people, professional people, review some of the footage and things that I did with the last 2 films, and they were like, Marvin, did you get professional help for this? Did you go to school for this? I'm like, no. They're like, oh man, this is great, dude. For a person that doesn't have professional equipment, they said this is solid. This is great. So that just showed me that, Marvin, you're doing what you're supposed to do.
You start seeing some of your stuff to these film festivals.
Man, and to be honest with you, I submitted both of my last 2 films into film festivals, and we submitted for 2 of the nation's top horror film festivals, one in Orlando and one in Charleston, South Carolina, and I did not get in. I didn't get in at all. I submitted both films for another film festival. This was this year. Didn't get in. I submitted Trepidation 3 times, and I submitted Visitant twice, from 2015 to beginning of 2016, and didn't get in. And I said to myself, well, Marvin, maybe this is not for you. Maybe you're not cut out to make film. Maybe you're not cut out to do this. Maybe you don't know what you're doing. Maybe you just need to give up. And I did. I'm not gonna lie. I cried. I cried and I cried, and I wasn't focused. I wasn't focused at all. When I figured out I didn't get into that film festival at the end of March, it broke me. bad because I spent so much time. But then later on down the line, I realized, Marvin, you're rushing. You can't rush to make a movie. It takes time. You know, it
Right.
takes time, it takes time, it takes time. If you want a good movie, it's going to take time. And now I get it. You know what I mean? I didn't think I was rushing back then. You know, this was just a couple of months ago. I didn't think I was rushing. But in reality, I was. I can't rush and rush and rush and expect good quality work if I don't take my time. And on top of that, if I'm not focused. I was in a relationship in January and of this year, and the guy left me in April. For what reason, I don't know. And it hurt me so bad, and it put me in a state that I can't even describe to you right now. I stopped everything. I didn't care about movies. I didn't care about acting, modeling. I was going to quit North Carolina Fashion Week because it took that much of a toll on me. But, you know, when I went there, those guys and girls and directors, they couldn't tell nothing was wrong with me. You know, they couldn't. And when I finally came out and said something before the show started, you know, they were like, wow, you were dealing with that the entire time. I sure was. I love that guy a lot. I put my heart and soul and everything else into our relationship. And I always asked him, what did I do wrong? You know, what am I doing wrong? Am I doing something wrong that hurts you, this and that, third? He always tells me, no, you're good. He said, you're the first boyfriend I've ever had. I was his first everything. So I thought I had someone that was going to be my rock when it came to my career. And yeah, he was to an extent. But, you know, things just don't make sense. But what I've always learned is if you keep quiet and you don't feed into what other people say or do to you, your answers start to come. And when the answers started to come, I can't even, like I said, I can't describe to you, but I stopped everything. Because I felt like I was worth nothing. I felt I was ugly. I felt I wasn't good enough to do a movie anymore. I felt my acting sucked. You know, he was the reason why I stopped. And you know, here it is June, and no one can tell. They're like, wow, dude, like you did a script. I wrote this entire script.
Wow.
So that was a big accomplishment for me. And, you know, I told myself, I'm never going to allow anyone, I don't care how much I love them, to, you know, push me away from my love, which is acting. Acting.
Wow.
And, you know, that whole situation with him just, it ignited a flame that just pushed me over the edge.
Wow.
And this is the ending result. 89 pages.
That is awesome.
And it's going on 2 months now, and I'm great. You know, I'm good. You know, I'm okay.
What are some tips that you would have for any other aspiring independent filmmaker, you know, advice for budgeting, casting, production, something that they may not even think to consider?
Well, to be honest, the main tip that I would offer any aspiring artist, actor, actress, model, filmmaker, whatever, is to have patience. It might seem so small and so little, but that small and little thing can grow and outgrow you. And you can be imprisoned in your own hell because you're not patient, because you're rushing, because you want this now. I want this now. I want this person now. You have to be patient. And I'm still learning that. I've come a long way with it. I'm not where I used to be with it, but that is the main tip I offer aspiring filmmakers, artists, anything, is to be patient. Be patient, and also to know your craft. Study. Research. Do your research. You can't just jump into something and say, I'm going to be a filmmaker today. I think that was my main mistake with my first film last year. I jumped into it, and I really didn't know what was what. I'm doing found footage. Okay, paranormal activity. They just have the camera. They move around this and that and the third. No, Marvin, you can't do that. You know, I'm learning now. You know, I didn't have the resources then. I didn't have that mindset then. But as you grow and you learn, you know, you become experienced. And when you become experienced, that's when all of these things that you made a mistake on, it helps you to grow into something bigger. So that way your next project or your next audition or your next movie or whatever you're doing is better than the last. And if you have the mindset to outdo yourself each time, you're going to be phenomenal.
Right.
Don't outdo nobody else.
Right.
Outdo you.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing each time. This is level 3 for me now. 3rd movie. And I can say this doesn't even compare to the other 2 films. And I'm keeping it that way. Those are my babies, though, because that's what I started out with.
Right.
You know, I might look at it now and be like, "Oh man, this shit sucks." You know, but at the same time, I'm like, I did this. This was my idea, my vision, and I had people backing me up for it. And excuse me, and it was made, and people like it because they know it was my first time. You know, but my goal this time with this film is to make it 100% professional, 100% non-comparable to my last 2 films. And I'm getting this into film festivals. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what this is going to be something I'm taking my time on with actors, actresses, special effects, everything. This is getting into major film festivals. And you can mark my words on that.
All right, y'all be on the lookout for that.
You know, this is going to get into big film festivals, and you're going to see it on the internet. You're going to see it on different magazine sites and on Facebook and this and that and the third. This film is going to reach audiences that I've never reached before. And how do I know that? Because I prayed about it. And when I prayed about it, I saw it. I saw it. And I said, you know what, God, thank you. And I'm going to continue to do what I need to do. Because you can't pray for something and expect it to happen.
Exactly.
You have to pray for something and put in the work for it too.
Exactly.
Prayer without work is what? Dead.
So where can listeners and UA Magazine readers go to learn a little bit more and keep up with your projects and this upcoming one?
Well, for one, you can follow the Facebook page. Just search Foreman Empire Productions. Like the page. Don't just search it and go look at it to be nosy. Like it. Like it, because people nowadays, they just want to search and see what it's about and they done. No, if you're going to search it and like it, okay? That's what I want you to do. Search it and like it. Also, you know, take a look at, we stay up to date pretty much on everything, on who's been cast for what, things of that nature, where the production's going, pictures, everything. Everything you need to know about Visitant Dark Hours will be on that page. And everything you need to know for another production that is actually in the works right now too. I'm working on 2 things. I haven't said anything about the second one now, but because I'm working on Visitant Dark Hours, but it's another thing that's coming up, and I'm venturing out of my element of horror, and I'm going to focus on a comedic drama. So
Okay.
It's out of my element. People are looking at me like, "What? Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm going to do a comedy drama." So, and you know, I want to do something different this time. After I do Visitant, I'm going to be.
You know, I can actually see that though. I can actually see you doing the comedy.
I'm going to put horror not on the back burner, but I'm going to keep it in my left pocket for a minute because I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use my right pocket for a minute. But that's what I'm focused on. You can follow my Facebook page, Shariko Bakari. You know. Add me on Facebook. I'm on Instagram at @theofficial_Shariko Bakari. You can keep up with all of my acting, modeling, everything. Because I'm not just a director and a screenwriter. I'm an actor and a model too. So.
That's right. He's going to LA.
Yeah, I actually got selected to go to Los Angeles Fashion Week
right.
when I was walking in North Carolina Fashion Week. So it was pretty exciting. I'm nervous. I don't know what to expect, but a lot of people are like, why haven't you really said anything about it? All you did was post it on Facebook. Well, when I post it on Facebook, the people that were supposed to see it will see it. I don't go around blasting, hey, guess what I'm doing? I'm going this, I'm going that. No. Post it one time and I'm done. I'm a very humble guy. I'm a strong believer in being humble and being respectful towards yourself. Because if you're humble and respectful towards yourself, positive things, positive energy, everything flows towards you without you even trying to. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So yeah, but the Instagram page for Foreman Empire Productions is actually in the works right now.
Okay.
We're going to be doing that, and the website is actually being built. A web designer from Raleigh, North Carolina, she's doing it. So that's going to be up pretty soon, and everything's going to be up there, casting calls, things of that nature. So,
awesome. So be all on the lookout for that, guys.
Most definitely
right.
so. I'm
Thank
really
you
excited.
so much for your time.
It is no problem. I'm pretty sure I will see you again.
Oh, yes. We'll be back for production.
Most definitely.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.